Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another crypto video. And today I am really excited to share with you guys my XRP price prediction for 2022. So if that is something that you want to hear about or like, make sure you press that like button. And my question for today is, guys, if you think that the XRP price throughout 2022 will actually go above $10, yes or no, put it in the comment section down below. And my own long story short is I honestly believe, and this is my complete honest truth, that the XRP price will most likely, as a baseline, hit $12 in 2022. But I hope that we're actually going to see the levels of $20, $24 around the year. And what exactly is going to make that happen, what different scenarios I can kind of see that for, I'll talk about in this video, as there's a lot of exceptions, a lot of clear indicators that are going to point out beforehand where the price is about to head. And there's so many boxes that we need to tick to actually get to these prices, but everything is going to be discussed throughout this video. So stick around and you'll most likely know every single thing that I am thinking about right now. All right, so first of all, what is XRP? What is Ripple? What are we talking about? Ripple, software company, boom, bada bang. They have one solution that uses XRP, and XRP is a payment token. It's a cryptocurrency. They're specifically used for cross-border payments because it's very cheap, very efficient, very fast. Ripple uses XRP in the sense that if they are helping a company right now transfer money around the world, they can basically make them buy XRP with whatever the currency they had, transfer the XP around, and then change to whatever currency they wanted to get to, because that's usually a lot better than using a system like MoneyGram or Western Union. Even though we had a MoneyGram partnership before, that type of stuff went rogue or bad because of the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit. And what that entails, guys, is that Ripple basically got sued by the SEC for potentially selling a security, which the majority of us really don't agree with. And even if you look at the real numbers, XRP has done amazing throughout this entire journey, but we'll get to that in just a second. They basically got sued over XRP being a security the 22nd of December 2020. And so the price went down because of that. They lost a lot of partnerships. Again, remember, as I just said, the company, Ripple, did really well. And their part, which utilizes XRP, which is called on-demand liquidity, also did extremely well. And so from a fundamental perspective, XRP just keeps on excelling. But there's some pressure on them because right now, a lot of companies are wondering, is XRP a security or not? Because the SEC alleged so. And so a lot of exchanges like Coinbase, they took XRP off from trading. And so, well, it also is right now resonating in a lot of people's minds, which is like, is XRP something I should be going for? Is it scary? Is it legitimate? There's just a lot of different questions which are kind of suppressing the price, if I may say so myself. For example, right now, on Coinbase, you cannot buy it anymore because they are also afraid the SEC is going to come after them if they allow for the trading. So let's kind of conclude what we said up to now. XRP is a cryptocurrency. It used to be traded almost everywhere. They got sued by the SEC. A lot of companies stopped using it. A lot of exchanges stopped listing it, which is kind of like the negative side right now, which is also one of the main reasons why I think that XRP right now is not at all-time high or above, because the majority of crypto that made an all-time high in 2017-18, they actually quadrupled or at least tripled from the value that they hit at that point. XRP right now is at about 1/3 to 1/4 the value that it hit at 2018, I believe January 4th or 5th, not exactly sure which date anymore. And so 4 years from that point, we are at 1/3 to 1/4 the value, where Ethereum right now is at triple or quadruple the value. It's honestly, if you ask me, mostly because of the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit, but then also comes our remedy. However, let's skip the remedy for just a second. Let's build a little base case. The remedy, obviously, is Ripple winning that case or the case ending, which is most likely going to happen in 2022. All directions are pointing towards that, and so the majority of us are thinking so. But there's also another part, which is, as I just said, guys, this was actually the strongest year ever for XRP. And if you start thinking about that, guys, I think about it. You guys have most likely thought about it. If this was the strongest year and the price just keeps going down, there's most likely some pretty heavy manipulation to some degree. In the sense that, as I read it, if you are just increasing in numbers and you just keep on doing better, yet the price is not reflecting that, it's not really reacting to it, there's something kind of wrong. And what I fetch from all of that, and what I feel, is right now the price really can't move up because of this SEC restriction. even though it should have. And so there's a lot of bulls right now who are not buying. And again, if you don't believe me, look at this. Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary, he says he won't buy XRP, not Ripple. This was published just now, because of the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit. That is literally his words. He said, I don't really want to mess around with the SEC. I don't really want to go against them. And honest truth, guys, Ripple could be doing 100x in terms of partnerships, in terms of all their numbers, and still, the majority of legitimate companies in the US won't mess around with it. Even Coinbase took it off because they're too afraid of the repercussions of the SEC. And so, honest truth, the moment that they win, I honestly think a lot of these billionaires, like I talked about over on my channel, like, let's just kind of skip, I guess, the likes, because there's actually quite a significant amount. Let's not kind of jinx ourselves in that regard. Let's just say there's quite a couple of billionaires who've gotten themselves into Bitcoin and Ether specifically because they think those are fine and safe. Side note, they're not, because the SEC says, well, we haven't made a determination on those. But they're getting into Bitcoin ETH. I think a lot of those guys might actually start buying and going really heavily on XRP once they start noticing, hey, it's a crypto that's primarily linked to the banks, which is a really juicy crypto to have in terms of a regulation perspective. Right now, there's a little quarrel, but I actually honestly think that it should have been one of the easiest ones to regulate properly because of the strict KYC requirements and whatnot. So a lot of billionaires will most likely go for it for that perspective, but also the perspective that it was so undervalued, and right now is the first properly regulated crypto in the United States. Right? So it's, again, let's summarize here. Ripple winning the lawsuit, which is most likely going to happen in 2022. The billionaires getting into it because of the crazy numbers, as they had the best years right now, and they're extremely undervalued because of it. And guys, mind you, the reason I'm talking about this whole settlement here is because I actually interviewed Jeremy Hogan, a very, I'm going to say, infamous lawyer in the XRP community, but also just generally very amazing person. I honestly recommend you guys to check out his channel for all the stuff that he posts on the Ripple lawsuit, because it's way better than I could ever explain it to you guys. It's way better than I could ever do it. However, I was fortunate enough to be able to interview him. And in that little interview a couple of months ago, it's a little bit outdated, but okay, we basically talked about all the specific dates. When could it end? Is there going to be a settlement? Could we actually sue the SEC? All those important questions were covered in there. And so you might still actually want to check out this 1-hour interview, as it's honestly really, really good. In there, however, we concluded that there's almost no chance that we're not going to get a determination in 2022. And the reason I keep calling out for $12, $24, all that stuff, is primarily backed partially by the Fibonacci's. And so we talked before about how following Fibonacci, $12.50 or so for XRP would be a solid number to get to in the near future. That's one thing, got to be honest with you. But more importantly, and this is actually a one that you got to really hold closely, guys, the fact that we are gonna triple from the previous all-time high. And that's the one that I keep telling all my friends, keep telling everybody. Tripling from the all-time high. But let's quickly show you guys what this chart looks like. So if we follow up with the Fibonacci, the let's actually see here, the 1.618 is a little, I'm gonna say, double of all-time high at about $5, $6 or so. But the major numbers are going to start looking here at 3.618 at about $12.50 or so. And that's like a baseline that we have. I didn't draw in any crazier Fibonacci's at that point because we're not close enough. But as I've said before, my honest expectation, right? And I'm going to have to open up a little live coin watch here to show you guys. My honest expectation is this. XRP price was twice in market cap a couple of times. I think it can get back there. And so from that perspective, instantly, it should actually replicate the Ethereum market cap, which is times 11, putting it at about, let's say, $10 or so, right? That's like instantly to get on par with Ethereum. However, as I described before, when XRP goes on a rampage, there's quite as a good chance that they can get back to the second spot, because it's going to be the first properly regulated crypto, meaning let's say it's going to go to about $600 billion or so in comparison to Bitcoin, having about 2/3 that value. So already, we're taking some money in, we're taking some numbers. Let's say it's going to be at about $15 at that point. However, you should also imagine that's getting 2/3 of Bitcoin's current value. At that point, at which XRP's decided to first properly regulate crypto, the crypto market will most likely kind of go into a really bullish and really exciting mode, because that basically means the first regulations for crypto are set in stone. it was bullish. A lot of other cryptos are going to use the exact same defenses that Ripple used, and so we're going to get a freaking huge wave and a really bullish wave of crypto regulations across the board for the United States, and that could really excite a good altcoin season, if not on its own. That XP just got such a bullish event and did like I don't know 1200% within a couple of hours. That could also install just a bull season on its own, but hopefully you guys get where I'm coming from here, where there's such bullish inflows that it will most likely excite or incite even more numbers. And that's why we kind of put our little $12 like a baseline. And then anywhere doubling that would not be too crazy because of all the excitement and, again, the fundamentals on their own throughout the next couple of months or so. I have so much other stuff open actually here that I want to talk about regards to XRP, but let's just quickly continue on to say, man, I think so many billionaires, you guys are not really counting on that right now, are actually going to really promote XRP quite heavily once this turns out to be the first properly regulated crypto. Right now, many influencers as well, they laugh in my face. They laughed at my face for being so positive and talk so much about XRP. But honest to truth, I just honestly think it's the best risk to reward that we can go for in crypto. And I would not say buy only this coin, get only this coin and stick with it. No, I definitely think it's better to diversify properly. But then again, I always have my long positions open on Bybit. As you guys know by now, I always have them open. And usually we're in profit because this crypto does not miss. It just does not. Man, I honestly believe it's about to get really crazy. We have a Matic chart open, but our XP trade can be seen right here. We put in $2,000. We right now are in $4,000 worth of profit on our $20,000 officially, or 25K XRP trade. And I honestly think that one is also going to do amazing because XP is in a really bullish area right now. And as I said before, as long as Bitcoin shows the bullish light, generally speaking, the direction is going to be upwards. There's 1,000 different ways to analyze this, but 1,000 out of 1,000 times we'll come to the same conclusion. XRP's general direction is going to be up regardless of what different way you look at it. We're going to go up, up, up. All right, that was it for today's video. Again, guys, you already know, not financial advice. At the end of the day, it's all just our thoughts. We can be wrong. That's the honest truth to it all as well. We're not really wrong too often, but we can be. In the short term, things are a little bit more difficult to say in the long term, right? I can honestly and easily tell you I see the XRP future price as set in stone, clear. But short term, right now, it's looking as if we're basing on the 0.236 Fibonacci. We're going to bounce from there, go easily towards like $1, $11, $12. But it's really hard to say from the perspective that it does not really matter too much for me, as we're just trading at really, really small moves. And I keep showing you guys every single time we make a trade in these daily live streams. And so right now, we're just talking a little bit of a longer term, as that's ultimately the vision that I think a lot of you guys must be having. Then again, there will be a link down below for Bybit if you want to also trade with me over in my live streams. Do a lot of trades. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And generally speaking, there's also the exchange that I use all the time. So if you're looking for a place to buy XRP or go for it, make sure you check out the links down below for Bybit or KuCoin or potentially even FMX. Links are down below. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today.